Cindy, we could start choral, maybe having song,
I wasn't done reading what I was
group song,
Oh,
be
we
our
could,
song
yeah,
leader.
we could sing.
Yeah.
We could sing the Star Spangled Banner or something.
Is it someone's birthday?
I don't know. Anybody got a birthday? We can go ahead.
If
Let's
I
do
did, I
it.
wouldn't tell you.
Let's go ahead and do it.
We're going to go ahead and begin, if we can rise, and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the February 18, 2021 meeting for the Shawnee County Board of County Commissioners. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair, also representing District 2. Joining me today is Commissioner Aaron Mays, representing District 3. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Bill Rippon, representing District 1. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, if we could begin with our first item.
First item is item 3, consent agenda.
There are 2 items on the consent agenda. Are there any questions or a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 4, new business. A, County Clerk number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Commissioners, today we have vouchers totaling $1,272,650.81. The highlights of that would be under the appraiser. We've got Bliss Associates for $28,000. That's for the appraisal of Westridge Mall. Under building and maintenance, Fairbanks Equipment Incorporated, totaling $42,046.62, is for 2 sprayer units for the weed department. Under the DA's office, Journal Technologies for $19,237.53. That's for just wear support. And under sales tax, we've got McCown Gordon for $873,907. That's for renovations for the Stormontvale Event Center. That takes the project to 91.81% complete as of January 20th. So getting close there. Under Sheriff, we've got the purchase of a Chevy Traverse for $27,077.75. And then finally, under sewer districts, a couple of items for the Sherwood Wastewater project, one for Bartlett and West for $33,225.04, and then one to Burns and McDonnell and CAS Constructors for $45,740.60. That's for the teacup. I don't have any questions about any of this, and I would move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item A2, consider correction orders.
I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Next item.
Item A3, consider approval of request to open an Amazon Business Prime membership, allowing all county departments access at a cost of $3,499, that's annually, to be paid out of general expense, and to authorize Betty Griner to execute the online account setup that is required. And this, Commissioner, is, we have several departments that currently have Prime accounts, and we have some departments that they have what they call consumer accounts. That means, like if I were to have a Prime or have an Amazon account and I come to work and my boss says, we need to buy this and we can't get it any place in town, so can you, and I say, well, you could just use my account. I mean, so it's kind of hodgepodge. So far, over the last 12 months, we had spent $228,000 combined through various estimates for the last 12 months. $816,000 is spent, approximately $816,000 is spent locally. I mean, that's just, she pulled out 5 vendors, and then she pulled some out of the UMB credit card. So the majority of the money that we spent is spent locally or in the if you call Menards and Lowe's and such like that local, but they're not putting a lot of money out there, but we'll get savings by doing this. There's they have a co-op that they partner with, so it automatically comes in. We don't have to do that there. So it would be a good in all aspects. Betty and I have reviewed it and have from the accounting perspective, we feel like this would be a good move for the county.
I think it is important to note that we are encouraging the county departments to buy local, shop local,
Yes.
reinvest back into our community as much as we are able to. But where there are opportunities, or there are not opportunities to buy local, using Amazon is an alternative. And so by having this account, you're having all the departments under one Prime account as opposed to each department having their own Prime accounts.
Well, and some of them, like I said, there were only a couple that actually had Prime accounts, and some were just buy off of Amazon. I don't have an Amazon account, but I can go buy off of it as a guest. But we'll get better. We'll get better. Deals or whatever, and we'll also get. They have all the perks in the Prime. You can have the shipping is faster. Plus, the department heads will have the opportunity to use this it's like a second use, just like I do on our accounts payable system. They can go in and they can actually see what has Bill over here used for, what has he been buying? What has Jim over here, what has he been buying? And they can pull these reports from their department and see, how they've been spending their funds. And and of course, since it is an online account, we're also asking, with the approval of this, that Betty be authorized to, because it's not something where you can actually sign. She'd have to actually, go online and authorize her to be the one to sign that we would do this.
Okay. Betty, I see you're at the podium.
Yeah. Betty Greiner, Director of Administrative Services. I just wanted to add one other thing, that when in the beginning of COVID and when we were trying to get PPE, when there was none available locally, if you had a government account with Amazon, they were prioritizing that governments got priority for PPE. So in case of a natural disaster of some type or some type of an emergency, this sets us up as a government account with them. So in case we would need to get supplies, that we are set up for that.
And then finally, you would still need to comply with all policies regarding purchasing. This does not change
Absolutely.
any of those sort of priorities.
Yes, that is correct. Yes.
Any other questions regarding this item?
Not so much a question, but I do think that having a centralized business account for our folks it closes the possibilities of all the problems that come along with having people use their personal email or personal Amazon accounts. I mean, where's that payments information saved? I mean, I think this eliminates the possibility of a lot of bad situations arising long-term, so I'm fine with it.
Okay. Bill, any thoughts?
I think it's probably good to have it centralized in one location, so it's good.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Our next item.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Item B, Health Department, number 1, consider approval of request to advertise and fill the child care licensing surveyor position at a salary including benefits of $54,026.44 with funding from the departmental budget, and to fill any subsequent positions that become vacant as a result of filling this position.
Good morning, Commissioners. Andy Graham, Health Protection Manager with the Shawnee County Health Department. This is a position that is funded by a grant with the Kansas Department of Health and Environment. It is also generated from fees that we get doing child care inspections. Currently, we are only out there right now doing emergency inspections and also complaints. So we plan on starting back up in March. And this is a position that was left in September by a person that retired. And so all we're asking to do is refill this position so we can get started again in March. If you have any questions, hopefully I can answer them.
Any questions? I'll move for, Aaron, did you have a question?
No,
Okay.
no.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item C, Weed Department, number 1, consider approval of request to award bids to Nutrient Ag Solution, Sims Fertilizer, and Tar Water Farm and Home for the purchase of weed management chemicals for the 2021 season at a cost of $147,958.32 for minimum quantities purchased and an estimated $115,000 revenue return through sales and treatment activities.
Well, good morning, Commissioners. John Landon, Director of Weed Department. As Ms. Beck said this morning here, the chemical bids is what I'm here asking you to approve. I would note that this year we had 9 vendors supply bids for us this year, which gave us very competitive pricing. It reflected a decrease in most chemicals, all but 2, and those 2 chemicals showed an increase. One of the chemicals is glyphosate, which is a very popular chemical that's sold to the weed department down there. So customers should suspect about $1.62 a gallon increase on that chemical. Outside of that, everything looked great. I'm very pleased with the chemicals coming in at a cheaper price than last year. And with that, I'd ask you to approve the bid to Nutrient Ag, Sims Fertilizer, and Tar Water. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
John, since we don't hear a lot about these purchase of the items, can you talk to us a little bit about who is able to buy these items? Are any members of the public able to come in and purchase these chemicals? Is it just people that are farmers or rural? Tell us a little bit more about the program.
The program is designed for any resident that lives in Shawnee County to be able to purchase these chemicals, but they have to be purchased for noxious weed control only. So you have to be treating the specific noxious weed that's listed by the state with those chemicals. You can't come in and buy glyphosate to spray the grass in your driveway. We restrict that from happening. But outside of that, any resident of Shawnee County can come in and purchase these chemicals.
So if I have some property that has maybe noxious weeds, or I'm concerned that it's a noxious weed, would I come to you to help identify how to, what it is and how to treat it?
Yes, you could call me by phone. I'd meet you at your property, identify the weed. Identifying the weed is the most important part of anything, is identifying the pest before I can recommend a chemical to treat it. So once we identify it, then we can cover several methods of control. There's mechanical methods. If you just don't like herbicides, the state does allow certain methods of mechanical control, mowing, hoeing, things like that. Or there's the chemical control.
And then if I live out in the county and Commissioner Rippon decides to move next to me and he's got some nice pretty purple flowers on his property that always seem to blow on mine, can we come help Commissioner Rippon know why those pretty purple flowers need to stay off his property?
We can. Just again, you could either stop by, give us a call. We'll go out and make contact with Commissioner Rippon and let him know what those purple flowers are, even though they are very pretty, that they're a noxious weed. And most of the time, Commissioner Cook, you'll notice that people don't know what it is. They're not familiar with that weed, and so they didn't know it was a noxious weed, that they had to take care of it. And so we'll educate them on it, and then we'll kindly put them on a timeline that they have to get it done, and then we'll check on it in about 14 days. If it don't, then we'll just send a warning notice to them if they don't react to it.
I think it'd be surprising for Commissioner Rippon to know that not everything purple is good.
No comment.
There are no words.
So, any questions regarding this item?
No.
Thank you, John, for explanation and talking a little bit about your department and all that it does, and thank you.
You're welcome,
In
Commissioner.
spite of my weed problem, I will move for approval.
I'll second. Motion for approval by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you, John. Madam Clerk, our next item.
Item D, Sheriff's Office, number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Hill regarding renewal of a 2-year contract with Leads Online at a cost of $13,783, utilizing 2021 budgeted funds.
Good morning, Commissioners. Captain Askew with the Sheriff's Office. Before you is our 2-year renewal with Leads Online. Leads Online, it gives us the ability to access the stolen property in Topeka in the regional area, which is in turn fed back to us in an alert type of a situation, and we're able to go contact those vendors that have received that stolen property.
Do we see a lot of that occurring in Shawnee County, or is it in cooperation with the city of Topeka? How does that break down between the city and the county?
The pawn shops and local vendors, the metal recycling businesses are required by state law to take photo ID and the serial numbers of the items. Then it's uploaded to Leads Online, and then our detectives are able to access that information. There is a lot of that. It's a great investigative tool for us, and it enables us to solve a burglary or a theft where we wouldn't have any other information other than that.
And then do we still see as much of a scrap metal theft seemed to be very high several years ago? Do we still see that still being a pretty high crime, or has it been decreased?
The scrap metal, yes, the catalytic converters, we're seeing an uptick in those thefts throughout the county and the city.
Okay.
Again, the metal recycling businesses are required to take photo IDs, so that does help us in some of those cases.
Any other questions? No. Motion?
I'll move for acknowledgement.
Motion for
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 3-0. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Our next item.
Item E, Public Works, number 1, consider approval of a request to award bids minus trade-ins to Summit Truck for $467,932, American Equipment $57,258, and Laird Noller $71,708 for the purchase of 2021 Capital Improvement Plan equipment, dump trucks, pickups, and accessory items, not including the previously approved mower for purchase on state contract, at an amount of $19,306 for a total net expenditure of not more than $616,204, utilizing $300,000 from the 2021 Capital Outlay Fund and $316,204 from the 2021 Special Equipment Fund.
Thank you, Cindy. That was quite a mouthful.
I was thinking so too. You should have said more.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kurt Neos, Director of Public Works. Back on January 7th, I was before you asking you to allow me to solicit bids for 2021 Capital Improvement Plan equipment. This equipment, well, the use of capital outlay funds was approved back in July of 2020, and as you can see in the table on the first page of the memorandum, that makes up approximately 50% of the purchase. Thank you to Audit Finance for putting out 6 RFPs for 7 pieces of equipment. For one of the items, the standard dump truck, we received 2 bids, and for all the remaining items, we received 1 bid. In itself, having 1 bid is not always a good thing. But in this case, I did a little analysis of what occurred last year. Summit Truck won the bid this year for both the standard dump truck, the hook lift and load dump truck, and the asphalt hot box. Last year, Summit won the bid for the very same bid package. We are paying approximately $2,000 more this year for the same bid package that we did last year. In addition, all of the items that we purchased this year on the 6 RFQs were lower than our estimate. So what I'm here before you telling you that although we got 1 bid, I believe they're competitive, and there is some bright news too because of the new bid procedures, the online bid procedures that Audit Finance talked about a couple weeks ago. We got Noller Ford to solicit a bid, a local vendor. We've talked about buying locally already this morning. So Noller Ford provided a bid. That's a great thing. With that, I look forward to taking your questions.
Questions for Kurt regarding the purchase of these items?
What were some of the accessories that you were purchasing?
Well, the accessories are all hook, lift, and load accessories. We've got a water tank, we've got a barrel bed. A barrel bed is just looks like a bottom half of a tube or an old boiler. And we have an equipment bed, which is just a flat bed. Those were the accessory items that I referenced in the memo.
I'll move for approval.
I'll second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item F, Parks and Recreation. Number 1, consider approval of request to issue a request for qualification for sports officiating services for sports leagues and tournaments.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. Before you today, we're asking your approval for us to go out for RFQs for our officiating service. This is a very important service that we go out for. We actually kind of form a partnership with them as they promote our mission statement, our fundamentals of sportsmanship, and we work really closely with this service. So we're out asking for approval to do that, and we'll be back shortly after that. Glad to answer any questions you may have.
We have been working with one group for a substantial period of time. Is this just to ensure that if there are others in the community that could offer a service that, we're, again, remaining competitive? And
Yes, it is. I think we're on our second 3-year term, and I think it probably a good idea to go out just to check to see if there's somebody else. We've been very happy with the Topeka Premier Umpires Association, but again, just in case somebody else may be out there.
Okay. And this is encouraged, I guess, across all of our departments for requests for qualifications as we do go back and do routine bids for all services. So,
That's correct.
any other questions? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item F2, consider approval of request to award a bid and execute contract C74-2021 with Kansas Correctional Industries for park sign frames, a minimum of 20, at a cost of $99 each, utilizing the Building Maintenance 3R Fund.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeremy Myers, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. And just for the record, it is $990 each. It was on the memo stated $990, but we only had one bid. We had Kansas Correctional Industries as our lone bidder. We've worked with them in the past, and you may have seen some of the signs around town going up. The black post is what we're talking about. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions regarding this?
I'll move for approval.
I'll second. Motion for approval by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item F3, consider authorization and execution of contract C75-2021, amendment number 1 to contract C156-2020 with Haley Procopi to include increasing compensation for lifeguard recertification classes to $110 per guard and extending the agreement for an additional year with expenses covered by the operating budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Randy Luby again with Parks and Recreation. This is just an amendment to her current contract. She's also going to be taking and teaching CPR classes for our department throughout the year if needed. And we are slightly increasing the pay that we gave her in her previous contract. This is an important service as every year we struggle to try to hire enough guards. So Haley will go and we use the Great Life Services facilities to conduct lifeguard training classes in March and April, hoping that if they need recertification, the lifeguards can take it through us. Be glad to answer any questions you may have.
I know that when it's 0 and negative degrees outside, swimming's really the last thing that we're thinking of, but how many guards do we hire for the Shawnee County aquatic facilities?
The neighborhood of about 150. Last year we got by, I believe, right with 100. It all depending on how many of them want to work long hours. Some of them apply and only want to work 10 hours a week. So the number varies, but it takes at least 100, and we prefer more than that, actually.
I know it's the middle of February now, but you mentioned that the certification class is beginning March.
Yes. I don't have the dates off the top of my head, but we do. The jobs are out there to apply for right now. They believe opened Monday. So if you're anybody listening and want to put their kids to work this summer, the jobs are there.
And so this is a great opportunity for college kids as well that might be home for the summer, and they need to start putting in their applications now.
Definitely.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Mays. All in favor say aye. All opposed, reflect that it passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item F4, consider authorization and execution of contract C76-2021 with Game Time Cunningham Recreation for the installation of swing sets in Little Oakland, Cushenberry, Hillsdale, and Children's Park at a cost of $6,800 utilizing the Building Maintenance 3R Fund.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tim Laurent, Director, Parks and Recreation Department. As Ms. Beck said, we have playground swing sets in stock that we need to install. Or we would like to have Game Time do that for us. Game Time has installed a lot of our playgrounds previously, and anyway, with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
So, Tim, just to clarify, this is for the installation, not the actual swing sets. They've already been
Correct.
taken
We
care of.
already have the swing sets. This is just to install them.
Okay.
Tim, why are we having a company install the swing sets as opposed to having it done in-house by our own crews?
Right. We could do it in-house. I mean, we have installed swing sets before in-house, but it is rather time-consuming, and with the amount of staff that we have currently, we would like to contract this service out so that we're not taking staff off of their regular duties. And I know that Jeremy Myers was up here last week talking about Lyle Bausch retiring, and we've had a couple of other situations that have occurred. So right now we're very thin in that department, and we feel like this is a way to get these swing sets out and have them installed before the nice weather hits.
Good. Any other questions?
No.
Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Second? Motion to approve by Commissioner Rippon, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Our next item.
Item F5, consider approval of request to award the following bids for the purchase of chemicals for Parks and Recreation operations in 2021 funded through respective divisions' operating budget and Golf Revenue Revolving Fund, and execution of vendor agreements for the same. A, contract C77-2021 with Helena Chemical Company. B, contract C78-2021 with Van Diest Supply Company. C, contract C79-2021 with Site One Landscape Supply. And D, contract C80-2021 with Reindeers, Inc.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jeremy Myers, Parks and Recreation Department. Back in December, you approved us to go out for bid on necessary supplies to operate the department, and we are here for these chemicals for our golf operations, our horticulture division, and our grounds maintenance. So be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Is there a motion?
I'll move to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Mays, second by Commissioner Rippon. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Reflect that it passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item 5, Administrative Communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the commission on any item. And Jeremy, since you're still there, I guess you're first up.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioners. Jeremy Myers, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation. I'd like to introduce you to a new staff we have on board. Sydney Stout joined us 3 weeks ago and is with our Natural Areas department. She is our new natural area steward, and I'll let her speak for a few minutes or seconds.
Right, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for Jeremy for giving me the opportunity to come here and introduce myself to you today. Our Parks and Recreation Department is unique in that we have hundreds of acres of natural areas and about 25 miles of hiking trails in our urban areas, such as here in Topeka. And I'm very grateful for the opportunity to maintain these natural areas that are so important to our community. I'm looking forward to improving these trails and implementing ecological restoration, community outreach, and education programs. So thank you again, and I look forward to working with all of you in the future.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background, what brings you to this position, and tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a recent graduate of Washburn University. I graduated with a Bachelor's of Arts in Biology, and I am also a graduate student at the KU University of Kansas's Environmental Assessment Program.
And then a natural area, for those that are watching at home and here present, what would constitute a natural area as opposed to just a park?
Yes, absolutely. So our natural areas include a lot of the grasslands, prairies, native plants that we have here, our woodland areas, and then as well as our aquatic habitats.
Okay. Thank you. Questions? Aaron? Well, thank you and congratulations and welcome to the team.
Thank you very much.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks, Dave.
Any other administrative communications this morning or opportunity?
Morning, Commissioners. Derek Flerlog with the Health Department. As you all well know, our vaccine Phase 1 and Phase 2 interest survey has been out for a few weeks now. I don't know, time is kind of flying by us as we speak. One of our concerns from the Health Department perspective has been how do we capture those without computer or internet access, accessibility to transportation, some of those issues that have come up. Over the last several weeks, we've engaged with various community partners about how can we work together to form partnerships and kind of capture this population of the community that might not have access to those things. So I spoke with the United Way a couple times now over the last few weeks, and out of that group, of course I've already met them prior to this, but received some communication from Monique Glade and Susan Harris of City of Topeka, and then of JAAA, our aging agency here in Shawnee County. And they have reached out to offer some pop-up clinics, and I'm going to let them speak a little bit about themselves and kind of what they're thinking for these partnerships moving forward.
Hello, I'm Susan Harris. I am the Executive Director of the Jayhawk Area Agency on Aging. And just as Derek said, yeah, we had concerns with regards to older adults in the area being able to access the sign-ups for the vaccines, specifically due to technology issues, either not having access to or not comfortable with utilizing those technologies. So yeah, we were approached then also by Monique with the City of Topeka of how we could collaborate to work together to come up with some events to get as many older adults as possible on those vaccine lists.
Okay, great.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Monique Glade, Director of Community Engagement in the City of Topeka's Ombudsman. We realize that team is definitely all of us dealing with COVID-19. It doesn't matter what local government or what government entity it is or what partnership it is, it's about our neighbors. And so after hearing the concerns, reading the article on WWW and in the Capital Journal in regards to the technology issues with our seniors getting signed up for the vaccination interest form, I definitely reached out to both Susan and Derek to say, what can we do? What partnership and collaboration can we form to be able to address this issue? All seniors should be able to have the opportunity to be able to, if they have any interest, to be able to complete the interest form. Therefore, after some collaboration, we have decided that we will host pop-up events throughout the community. We will host those at the existing senior housing facilities if the managers so see fit. For us to come, we will definitely use all social distancing mandates, ensure that all of our volunteers and staff have PPE gear, and just take that opportunity to complete the survey forms on site. We will utilize, thank you, Susan, laptops and tablets and hotspots to be able to do so. As we meet with each of these individual seniors, 65 and over, we will provide them with a community resource bag that will contain a free bottle of 20-ounce hand sanitizer and also community resource information, different programs, different opportunities for them to be able to participate in. We have dedicated the rest of the month of February, March, and April to be able to do so. So what a pop-up event may look like is that we may pop up at let's say a community center, and we'll be there for a designated period of time, and then we'll allow those persons 65 and over to come in. We will use plexiglass shields and just ask those questions and literally complete the survey interest form at that time. So our intent is just to be a helpmate, and I'll be glad to stand for any questions.
Monique, thank you for the city and working with and also with JAAA and all that you guys are doing. So would we anticipate you coming to the Pappin's Landing or East Topeka Senior Center or LULAC to help do a pop-up event?
Yes, sir. All of the above, and if there's any other organization, entity that would allow us to use their facility, we would do that as well, sir. Our intent is to do it during the day. I will dedicate my team to one evening a week and one Saturday a month.
And then through JAAA, are there resources that you are able to broadcast to or ways that you can get the message out to the seniors that this is occurring?
Yes, most definitely. We have, of course, our social media outlets, and then we are the information resource center for older adults, so lots of phone calls come into our agency, so we are notifying callers about that, as well as press releases that will be going out as well.
I really appreciate this partnership, and I know that we have been fielding quite a few calls from seniors frustrated with technology divide, not having a smartphone, not being comfortable using the internet, and also going through, and I know sometimes when you call the hotline number for the survey, it can take a while to get through, and patience in being online, on the telephone, so this might be a better avenue. So thank you for that partnership. And Derek, thank you for helping get that set up.
Tim Laurent, Shawnee County Parks and Recreation Department. Randy stole some of my thunder earlier when we talked about the lifeguard hiring. But I do want to remind everybody that we are hiring, and not just for lifeguards. We're hiring for park maintenance workers, lifeguards, staff to work at our sports venues, and also camp counselors. And Randy was close when he said we're looking to hire 100. We have 450 guards when we're fully staffed. And so we're looking to hire about 100 to 200, somewhere in that range this year, because hopefully if things play out the way we all want, we'll be able to open our floating playground at the Adventure Cove, which would increase the number of guards that we need for the season. But just wanted to let everybody know we're hiring. Go to our website. There's a lot of opportunities. Folks 16 years old and up are able to apply for a lot of these jobs.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tim.
Good morning, Commissioners. Aaron Mann, Shawnee County Emergency Management. Just a real quick update. The good news is, of course, as everybody is aware, the temperatures are starting to rise. It will be warmer, hopefully. We'll knock on wood and say that hopefully the temperatures will be up in the 50s for most of the week at least. See some good thaw, get some of the wind chills going away. However, the bad news is it's February, and of course things can always change fairly quickly. So I would ask people not to let their preparedness guard down. Keep their preparedness kits ready, and of course be ready for any other potential severe weather, whether it be winter weather or thunderstorms or anything else that might pop up that we're not aware of right now. If we remember, we have had a tornado the very last day of February that destroyed part of a small town just south of here. Also with that, we were taken back to a level 2 energy emergency alert, or correction, level 1 energy emergency alert this morning. However, I would still caution people to conserve energy the best they can by unplugging unused appliances, not using space heaters, and of course finding alternative methods of heat in order to protect our overall power grid. I kind of liken it to running your vehicle on fumes, as to that's kind of where our power grid is right now. Take some time, stop and put some fuel in your vehicle, build those reserves up, and then we can go back to full speed someday. But the last thing we want to see is a total collapse of our overall power grid, so please conserve energy anywhere that you can.
Aaron, I think it's a good comment about thawing. Thawing can sometimes be just as destructive as the freeze itself. I mean, as everything unthaws, that's where you notice the leaks in the pipes or water main breaks, and I'm sure that the city will be busy dealing with any of those things that may have occurred during the freeze. Being weather aware, now would be a good time to make an inventory of what you didn't have and how to plan ahead.
Absolutely.
And so are there resources on the emergency management website or places where people can go to what checklist should they be looking for in an emergency?
We do have some preparedness checklists on our website as to what should be in your emergency preparedness kits, not just for your home, but also for your vehicle. And of course, each individual family member, some ideas and tips to put into those kits to keep people busy or keep them occupied or of course keep them safe and protected. Also, a very good resource is ready.gov, which is a very good resource for all matters of preparedness, whether it be winter weather, severe thunderstorms, severe weather, you name it, there are preparedness tips out there. But that's an excellent website, and we refer to it constantly.
Ready.gov.
Yes, sir.
Got it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good morning, Commissioners. Stephanie Kuhlman, Shawnee County Commission Office. February is kind of flying by, but we still have time for a few more fabulous fundraisers to support Project Topeka. Today was the original last day to donate items for our online auction. However, we have decided to extend it until tomorrow night. You can still donate items because we still need more items in the auction. So we're going to extend it until tomorrow night. The auction will be live this Monday, February 22nd, and it starts at 8 a.m. I will send the link out to the auction website right before it begins at 8 a.m. It's going to end, you cannot bid anymore, ending at noon on Thursday, February 25th. You can pick up your winning items in the courthouse basement, room B11, on Friday, February 26th, between 8 a.m. and 2 p.m. You can pay with cash or check made out to Project Topeka. Tomorrow, Friday, February 19th, Department of Corrections is hosting a fundraiser with a burrito meal deal and a fish sandwich deal, both for $5. This is at the Shawnee County Adult Detention Center lobby, located at 501 Southeast 8th Avenue, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Everyone is welcome. And backed by popular demand, the Shawnee County Appraiser's Office and Public Works Department is having another Pizza and Pop fundraiser Wednesday, February 24th, 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. or until sold out at the North Annex Conference Room on the first floor, located at 1515 Northwest Saline. So February still isn't over. We have plenty of time left. We're going to finish out the month strong so that we can make this the most successful fundraising effort for Project Topeka.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
So time to get your donations in by tomorrow, and hope to have everybody lots to bid on. Are there any other members of the public that wish to address the commission or department heads? Commissioner Rippon?
I really don't have anything to report.
Commissioner Mays?
Same here, nothing for me.
Well, I think that I'm looking forward to a little bit warmer weather so that we can Finally, make sure everything thawed out. Make sure you do check your pipes for any leaks, and if you have anything, make sure you get it fixed before it becomes a bigger problem. Madam Clerk, our next item.
Item 6, executive session.
There is no need for an executive session today. We are adjourned.